WCBI News at 10 starts now.
A Winston County teenager is shot to death. The accused gunman in custody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Coroner Scott Gregory says that the victim in today's homicide is 18-year-old Katavis Malik Miller of Noxapater. 18-year-old Jared Hanna of Louisville sits behind bars charged with murder. Our Quentin Smith, he's been following this story all afternoon. He joins us live in the studio with the very latest. Quentin.
Scott, it was a tragic day in Winston County today for the families of two 18-year-olds. One teenager is dead while another is accused of committing the crime. This is the Katavis Miller many people in Winston County have grown to know. The 18-year-old was a standout athlete at Noxapater High School, where he starred on the football field as well as the basketball court. However, on Tuesday, the cheers were suddenly turned into tears when the teen was tragically shot and killed.
Today at approximately 10:37, that's when the call came in to the deputies at the Winston County Sheriff's Department. At around 2:45 this afternoon, Mr. Jared Hanna of Louisville, Mississippi, also age 18, was taken into custody.
The shooting happened on Young Crossing Road in Noxapater. Winston County Sheriff Jason Pugh says at this time the motive behind the shooting is unclear. However, one thing investigators do know is that Miller and the suspect, Jared Hanna, did know one another.
There's going to be no sinister motive in this. It appears to be a disagreement that went south quickly.
Looks like maybe a .40 caliber handgun was used in it.
Winston County Coroner Scott Gregory says the victim received multiple gunshot wounds and had to be rushed to the hospital, where he later died.
From what I could tell, it could be as many as 2 gunshot wounds. I do know that the fatal wound was in his upper chest area, actually, there was no exit wound, just an entrance wound.
Just hours after the fatal shooting happened, deputies searched the area trying to locate a suspect and collect evidence. Sheriff Pugh says Hanna was arrested on Odie Shields Road, not far from where the shooting took place.
Our officers received some information that he might possibly be at a residence at the end of Odie Shields Road in our county. They obtained permission from the homeowner to look in the residence, and Mr. Hanna was hiding in the top of a closet.
Now, Sheriff Pugh says he doesn't expect any more arrests to be made in connection to today's shooting. He says Hanna is expected to be arraigned on tomorrow. And of course, we're going to continue to follow this developing story and bring you more information as it becomes available. Scott?
Just a tragic story there. Thanks very much, Quentin. Well, a Solid woman is arrested after investigators say she tried to help an escaped inmate. Judy Hickman is charged with hindering prosecution first. Lamar County Sheriff Hal Allred says in a Facebook post that deputies and U.S. Marshals made the arrest. Anyone with information on that escaped inmate they were talking about, Jimmy Randolph, you're asked to call the Lamar County Sheriff's Office. Well, time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with a first look at our forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Scott, we had some mild temperatures today, well into the 60s. How about upper 60s to around 70 on Wednesday? It's looking that way. More clouds and sun. Can't rule out a shower or two, but not a lot of moisture for the middle of the work week. Even warmer down to our south. Look at these low to mid 70s. Better rain chances here later tonight and tomorrow down to our south. You can see this big batch of rain in Louisiana. That's moving east. It really won't affect us. But as we look ahead through Saturday, more clouds and sun, some rain at times, staying mild. But there's some cooler air that could be coming in here in a few more days. Details on that in just a few minutes, Scott.
The Columbus Success Academy, formerly known as Hunt Intermediate School, has been ruled a total loss after Saturday's tornado tore through the friendly city. Our Cash Matlock spoke with the school board members about what the future looks like for the site. He now joins us live out at the school.
Well, that's right, Scott. I'm here in front of the old Hunt High School, and just like you mentioned, it is one of the more heavily impacted areas from Saturday's storm. Now, community members as well as school board officials, they all agree on one thing, and that's that Hunt School was not only the center of education, but the center of culture here in Columbus. Now, they say that the school holds a special sentimental place in the hearts of many Columbus residents, and they all hope to see it restored.
Hunt Intermediate School, once a cultural epicenter for the city of Columbus,
now reduced to rubble.
Hunt High, RE Hunt High, was the mecca of the community. We did everything happened here. I mean, it means a lot to the community. It was 20th Street was kind of the centerpiece for the black community.
Even during summer months, as a kid here in Columbus, this place would be bumper to bumper traffic. You had baseball, the community was involved, and everybody was supporting everybody.
The school was destroyed during Saturday's severe weather outbreak. Columbus Municipal School District Superintendent Dr. Cherie Labat says the school board wants to preserve anything salvageable.
So we're in the process of working with the insurance company to assess the damage. We're also working to move all of our fixed assets and salvage any fixed assets that we have and relocate them to a heating and cold facility.
District 5 Supervisor Leroy Brooks says he hopes to see the school returned to its cultural status in the community.
If we're not going to rebuild a school, I would like to see a major center here that could also serve as a community storm shelter or a gym. I think we're just going to have to dream about what we'd like to see and come up with the best plan.
But Dr. Labat says the school board has already come to a decision.
We're definitely going to rebuild, as my trustees understand that this community is important to us. It's important for us to provide not only the services that we provide to the community, but to our students to rebuild this.
And school board members see the tragic event as a positive opportunity.
It's a sense of loss, but it also provides an opportunity for the community as a whole to take a step back and look at things through a different lens. Gives the community an opportunity to move forward together and also preserve the history of the community as a whole.
Yeah, schools and churches help define your community, and certainly it helped define our community.
Now, as far as the students that used to go here, they're all going to be bused over to Columbus High School. Reporting live in Columbus, I'm Cash Matlock. I'll send it back to you, Scott, in the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Cash. Well, finding friendship during devastation, two Columbus women formed a new bond Saturday night after the EF3 twister whipped through Columbus. Our Jory Talley met up with the two new friends earlier today back at the place where they first met. She has the story.
In the midst of the storm, God sent me to her.
Monica Sykes is talking about Elette Laurie. Tuesday, they returned to the place where fate brought them together.
We was just riding by, and I seen her holding the baby, and I made her get in the car because I couldn't leave her without with the baby outside. It was raining, and I didn't know her from day one. I couldn't leave her.
Laurie and her 2-week-old son had just gone through the most harrowing thing a new mom and child could face.
I was holding my baby, and then all of a sudden, everything got quiet. The lights started flickering, and then the tornado just hit really hard, and we was in there hollering, and then after we thought it was over, it was like the door was jammed. We was trapped inside the basement in there. We had to bust out the door. Didn't nobody know we was in there. It was starting to flood in there.
That's when Laurie was met with a difficult decision: stay in the rain with other family members or seek safety for her son.
We just down here by ourselves, and I didn't want to leave them hanging, but she encouraged me to get in the car with her, and she took me to her house and got me jar clothes, got the baby jar clothes, and made sure we was warm and safe. And I thank her and her mother. They took me in.
For her part, Sykes says no was not an option for an answer.
You need to come home. You got a baby. You need to get in this car.
Now, 72 hours later, a sense of stability has taken over.
I'm just lost for words. I don't know, it was devastating. It was scary. I'm still shaken up about it, but I thank God that we did make it out.
Laurie's mother is in the hospital now on top of staying with Sykes. She's bounced from sleeping at the hospital with her mom to a hotel. Her mother says she's trying to figure out what exactly is next. Well, if you talk with the people who live in these neighborhoods, you start hearing stories about quiet acts of kindness. Just today, the Whitkeys, who live off of Highway 50 on Conway, shared this story. The storm had passed. They were safe, but a tree was in their home. Next door, it was even worse. That's when they saw a familiar face. It was a face they see every day delivering their mail. The postman was there with his brother. The two men began cutting the tree, pulling it from the house, and carrying it to the road. Comfort in the storm. Now, the mail carrier did not want to go on camera. He was just helping his customers. A hidden hero. Now, if you know of a hidden hero, let us know. We'll share their stories of community and support that we all need a little bit of right now.
Not too much happening out there, which is always a good thing considering where we have been in Columbus, Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, downtown Louisville, Mississippi right there, also in Tupelo, but we do have the chance for a little bit of rain going forward. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All the rain we had has to go somewhere. It is going into the lakes, Sardis Lake, Enid Lake, Grenada Lake. Notice how swollen they are, and also the Tenn-Tom waterway right there and all the tributaries. This was from Sunday, but we still have the situation out there with those high amounts of water. Tupelo, 15.48 inches of rain so far this month. The wettest February on record, the 5th wettest month on record going back in the record book. So pretty extensive has been the flooding out there as we've gone throughout the last 1 to 2 weeks here. But right now, no rain with our live Doppler radar. You can see that. There's a big batch of rain and storms down in Louisiana. That is moving east. It will not get here. We've got temperatures currently in the mid and upper 50s, 57 in both Tupelo and Columbus. So it's a mild evening right now. Futurecast shows you that batch of rain to our south tonight. This is tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. We'll have some clouds, but we should not have any rain. Can't rule out a shower or two tomorrow, but this is your afternoon or early evening. There's a few blips around, but we will be watching tomorrow evening and tomorrow night for maybe a little disturbance across the area. You see a little bit of rain right there. So we may see some rain tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, but as we get into your Thursday, that should go away. And at this point, we're advertising a fairly tame day overall for Thursday, maybe even into Friday too. The Tenn-Tom at Amory continues to drop right here below flood stage by Thursday. At the Hamilton site by the Hatchie River, we are looking now at getting below flood stage by Saturday. So things continue to tail off here, which is great news. The Tenn-Tom in Columbus has been dropping. This hasn't updated since this afternoon, but we've probably dropped a few more inches at least here. And we may be below flood stage at the dam sometime tomorrow afternoon. The Luxapalila Creek at Columbus on the east side of town continues to drop, so that should be below flood stage by Thursday. And at Bevel, we're looking at below flood stage conditions there by the weekend, but we are still collecting some water. Tomorrow, though, mostly cloudy, rather. A few showers possible, around 70 degrees here. So overall, we can hack it. Mid-60s north, upper 60s, low 70s farther to the south. Here's your AccuWeather 70 forecast. Just about a 30% chance for some rain here tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Relatively mild through Saturday, 60s to around 70. A better chance of rain, some 50s on Sunday. We're looking at some cooler 40s for next week. That'll be a shock to the system. More of the show after the break.
High school students in Lee County are learning how they can enter the workforce 1 year after graduation as a software developer. WCBI's Allie Martin has more on a partnership between a telecommunication company and 2 area colleges and how it could impact virtually everyone.
These Moorville High School students are preparing for upcoming state tests.
So it's 2 writing prompts, 75 minutes each.
They're also looking to life after high school. They know that technology will play a huge role in whatever career path they follow.
You and other students can begin high school and community college courses.
That's why C-Spire, MSU's Research and Curriculum Unit at the Center for Cyber Education, and ICC are recruiting students for a program called the C-Spire Development Pathway. It's part of C-Spire's tech movement.
Pathway is going to equip these students with the skills needed to start a career in software development. This is a need that we have within our state, and it's a need nationally. And this is C-Spire working with education institutions and also other businesses to make this a viable option for these students.
Nationally, there are more than 500,000 open computing jobs, from healthcare to banking and entertainment. But there are only about 60,000 computer science graduates every year. Students who enroll in the program will take 4 courses during the last 2 years of high school and 6 more courses at the community college level. Students could then enter the workforce as a junior-level software developer with a starting salary of around $50,000. Students appreciate the opportunity to get a head start on a stable career.
I think it's a really good opportunity for people to, get exposed to new things, especially in Mississippi. We don't have like a lot around here, so I think it's good that we're getting exposed to this early in life.
I think this is a really great opportunity. It opens our eyes to what their future is really going to be. There's technology all around us and we don't know it yet, but we're being surrounded and consumed by it. I'm very interested in it.
Interest from students has been greater than anticipated, so C Spire will soon start asking businesses to partner with them in the ongoing effort to train future software developers. In Moorville, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The Bulldogs making its NCAA tournament hopes become more of a reality. Looking to go dancing for the first time in a decade. Highlights coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
Ben Howland said Mississippi State needs to get to 9 wins in the SEC to lock its spot in the NCAA tournament. Bulldogs with a chance to make that happen tonight. Quindary, Weatherspoon and company inside the hump, taking on Missouri. Q feeling it early, shot clock winding down, pulls for 3. It's money, but a bit of a scary moment. Weatherspoon coming down awkwardly on his ankle, but he'd be okay. He'd drop 20 points in this one. It'd be no worries. But Missouri pulling out some tricks. Jordan Geist off the back of Lamar Peters for the bucket. Missouri makes it a 7-point game at the break, but after halftime, MSU turns on the Jets. Thanks to Starkville's own Tyson Carter. Pulls up from Stromboli's and drains the triple. Then it'd be Tyson one more time with the heat check. Beautiful play from Ben Howland drawing up the baseline screen. Carter again, he'd have a game-high 22 in this one. Then defense leads the offense. Geist thinks he's got an easy layup. Robert Woodard says, no soup for you. Lamar Peters pushing the break. No one's open, so leave it for the trailer. Robert Woodard, let the man earn the defensive bucket. Did pretty finish, too, for the 2. MSU dominating. Time for some fun. Chef Peters cooking up the house special, drops it off to Reggie Perry for the 2-hand jam. And then Quindary Weatherspoon pulling a Houdini. My man from Missouri, he had no idea where he was in that point in time. Poor guy. Bulldogs get that 9th win. They hold Missouri to a season-low 49 points. Dogs win 68-49. Mississippi State baseball in action. Yes, this is a baseball game. Looks like Jackson State hit a field goal and an extra point. Bulldogs win 17-4. They improved to 17-1. Jordan Westberg 2 for 6 with 3 RBIs in the win. And then Ole Miss baseball getting the win 12-6 over UT Martin. They're now 5-2, and it's become death taxes and Thomas Dillard home runs as he hits another soloed bomb. That makes it 4 on the early season for Thomas Dillard. 4A boys, second round, Louisville taking on Caledonia. We're going to start with Taquavius Braggs with a grown man take through the teeth of the defense. Pretty left-hand finish to Louisville with an early lead, but then the Feds go on a run. Nice ball movement. Ends up in Cooper McCleskey's hands. The big fella's going to step into the triple and take all 3 of those. And then Caledonia bringing out the tricks. Johnson with the alley-oop to Romeo Sanders plus the foul. Feds would stretch it to 7, but then the Wildcats answer with a run of their own, started by Vazdrick Culberson from the parking lot, drains the triple. Louisville rallies from down 10 at halftime, outscoring Caledonia by 24 in the second half, 69-55. Louisville with the win. max capacity at Calhoun City tonight. It's just the whole place was packed full. Why not? Calhoun City taking on Ingomar. Fourth quarter, Garabeth Self to Carson Grisham for 3. Tie ball game late in the fourth. But Calhoun City responds. Key Honey drives kick to Conley Langford for 3. Onions! Wildcats regain the lead. Then nearing the end of the quarter, Cats up 3. Ajala Mays drives, scores, putting Calhoun City up by 5, and that would be enough. For the first time in 3 years, Ingomar will not be the state champion in 2A girls basketball. Calhoun City gets the win, 72-69. Then running back on the boys' side, Ingomar taking on Calhoun City, one of the rare boy and girl matchups in the third round of the playoffs. First quarter, Javion Shaw gets the Wildcats rolling with a back dribble hezzy pull-up. That would tie the ball game early. Then Ingomar responds. Trent Bradley to Hunter Bynum for 2. So back and forth ball game early on. Later on in the corner, Ingomar inbounding. Bynum hits Nathan Whedon from the corner. Bang! Ingomar gets the win thanks to a Hunter Bynum bucket with 7 seconds left. They get the win 50-48. And last but not least, fans doing the chop, defending 1A state champ Okolona, hosting Simmons. It would be Ja'Cory Stanfield starting the ball game with a 2. And off the break, Jamal Moore, yet again. The reigning champs are going back to Jackson. Okolona dominates. They get the win 78-60. That's it for sports. Last look at your weather is next.
Relatively mild for the next few days, Scott. 60s to around 70. Yes, there's a chance for some showers each and every day through Saturday. Most of the time probably will not be wet, so consider that for what it's worth. Great news for the recovery efforts. We don't need any more rain. It will be a little bit wetter perhaps Sunday. Temperatures will cool down into the 40s next week.
Yeah, I was out there earlier today and you could hear all the chainsaws. Everyone's lending a hand. And
Mother Nature's cooperating right now.
Good deal. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.